focus, a determination to get it done by any means necessary. And, you know, I just thank them all. I mean, it was great, the competitive spirit. You know, it was phenomenal. You know, from day one, getting to this point from which we came, you know, digging ourselves out of a deep, deep hole, and being able to be a part of this 2023 NBA postseason and then become one of the Final Four teams. You know, it was a hell of a year, hell of an experience, and hell of a turnaround. Did a complete 180, and you know, he was a big part of that in terms of his communication, his leadership. He and AD both, and he just came out ready to go. You know, at the end of the quarter stuff, the end of the end of the game. You know, I just thought he was trying to get downhill, man, and. Again, I mean, not to use any excuses or make any excuses, but there's contact on just about every play in the NBA. Now, when you drive the ball and what's considered a violation and what's not, what's called and what's not, it's like I'm oblivious. Like, I don't know. And so all you want is fairness and consistency. It's something that I've always said. So just trying to get the ball in the hands of our best player and allow him to go make a play in an area on the floor where he's comfortable. But, you know, again, not to take anything away from Denver, they're a hell of a ball club. They've been great all year, been great for a few years now. They have a hell of a 1-2 punch and Joker and Jamal. I wish them nothing but the best. Mike Malone, happy for him and his staff. You know, they've done a phenomenal job of just establishing a culture up there in Denver, making that a tough place to play. Well-balanced roster, very, very well coached. Some great vets over there. Some guys are going to get opportunity to get a ring, I think, for the first time. You know, DeAndre, Jeff Green, those guys. So kudos Ish Smith. Like, some guys that's been around the league a long, long time. And then Joker, getting an opportunity. Jamal, getting an opportunity to step out on the final stage and try to make something happen. So nothing but love and respect for the Denver Nuggets. Love the way they play and love what they're about. But, you know, we also saw ways that, even though this is year one, you know, and this losing sucks, you know, I think we have an opportunity to do something special here also. And we just got to build off of this. Everything we put into turning this thing around, we got to not only sustain it, we got to take it to a higher level. And that's what this summer is going to be about.
Just on that note, zooming out, the way the season started, trade deadline to where you are now, how would you summarize?
I just think it was great. It was nothing but growth, nothing but an education, and, you know, staying with it, trying to remain consistent. I told those guys their consistency of coming to the gym from the time where we had talented pieces on the roster, but yet instill something that didn't necessarily fit perfectly together, to the point where we did find the right pieces and they fit, you know, smoothly. The culture that was reset in terms of competitiveness, togetherness, accountability. You know, us coming to the gym each and every day trying to get better at something and being focused on getting better at something was nothing short of amazing. It's just been a hell of a year. The support I got, myself personally, my staff, from Jeannie, Rob, I mean, it was just to go through some of those tough times early. You know, we don't get that support, we probably don't make it to this point. But again, everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. It was a very, very special year.
Darvin, when LeBron, I think it was in Dallas, you know, goes to the ground, says he hears a pop, you know, meets with people, maybe he needs to have season-ending surgery. At any point, did you envision being able to count on him for 48 minutes in a game? I mean, at that point, you might not have known if you'd get 48 minutes all season. What did he have to go through to get back, and what did he give tonight?
I think he just went through a rigorous process of just round-the-clock treatment, exercises, bringing in different foot specialists to, first of all, confirm the fact that he couldn't, you know, damage the area any further, but to also kind of retreat it, re-strengthen it, and make it and put himself in a position where he could come back and join, which was then a newly formed group that had players in it that totally complemented his playing style and the style of play we wanted to have coming into this season. And so his ability to work through it, AD's ability to work through it, just all of the injuries we had throughout the season, and guys missing different stretches, long stretches. I just think there was a belief there that this thing could really work. You know, we got some consistency in terms of people being in the lineup and guys trying to get everything they could on the fly. You know, it wasn't a whole, didn't have a training camp, wasn't a whole, with the new team from the deadline on. You know, obviously there's no training camp, the practice time is limited because you're dealing with multiple injuries. So it was a lot of film study, a lot of walkthroughs. The shoot-arounds pretty much became our practices, regardless of who our opponent was, just trying to work on us and get better at what we need to get better at, and continue to fight through. And hopefully, you know, our leaders, our captains, Bron and AD, would be available at the right time, and they were. And that just a bunch of work by, you know, our performance team and everybody around them. Just again, those guys being meticulous about not only just getting well, getting healed, but strengthening so we could make a push.
Darvin, to stay smaller picture for a second. Obviously, the result was the same as games 1 through 3, but you did change up the starting lineup, and now that you're immediately removed from it, what do you feel about that switch, and do you look back and wonder, could I use that at a different time of the series?
Yeah, you know, I believe we started the series with Dennis in the lineup in Game 1, coming off the Golden State. You know, you can go back, look at the lineups. I mean, we were fortunate, you know, at the deadline to make a move that gave us a ton of serviceable players. You're always going to, you know, question whether or not you should have took a timeout or put the ball in someone's hands at a certain particular time in the game, or switched up your defenses, or this, that, and the third. Like, I just felt like, you know, no matter who we put in that lineup, you know, they were going to step up and give it their all, no matter what the results said. But this lineup that we finished with in particular, you know, obviously we want to just be aggressive, be physical. Thus the reason Tristan came in. I thought he played huge in his time on the floor. Gave us some really good, inspiring minutes, high-spirited minutes. You know, those guys, that's a tough task, you know, trying to slow down Joker, trying to slow down Jamal. But, you know, I thought our guys, you know, they tried their best. You know, that starting lineup, each starting lineup that we had out there, they didn't go out there to fail. You know what I mean? It just, things happen the way they happen during the course of a basketball game. And kudos to those guys who were removed from the, you know, in D'Lo's case, removed from the starting lineup, and then in Vando's case, didn't get a chance to play tonight. But those guys were nothing short of professional. Understood, you know, did what they needed to do in the restructured part of the rotation, and everybody was supportive. Really wanted to come out and get this win tonight, and I thought we fought as hard as we could fight.
Darvin, even though it was a sweep, you guys were in all 4 fourth quarters. You know, at one point it was a one-possession game in each of them. What's the key for this group moving forward to, you said, to kind of take that next step? What do you think that key is for you guys to be able to execute on a stage like this and come out winning those games?
I just think, again, the phrase for me is self-inflicted wounds. You can't have those. And that's, you know, being good in transition defense, not fouling, not pushing them to the bonus, getting a rebound, boxing out, you know, keeping them off their offensive glass, not allowing them to get those second, third, fourth chances. And then on our side, not turning the ball over and making layups. I don't know, I don't think coverages or adjustments have anything to do with that. that's just playing harder, playing better. I thought the third quarter, you know, it was twofold. We missed a ton of point-blank shots, and we allowed them to get really active on their offensive glass. When we would stop them, and then they get another crack at it and another crack at it. And now instead of getting a rebound, you're giving up threes. And so, and the sign of a great team is you make any mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. And they did just that. So I think going forward, we have to come in with a focus on being determined going into next year of controlling what we can control, giving ourselves every chance to win by doing the little things. You know, again, being great in transition, showing our hands, being disciplined, coming up with rebounds, defensive rebounds in particular, playing with pace, consistent pace, not turning the ball over, and making the shots we're supposed to make.
Darvin, AD didn't get going until the fourth quarter. Was that a case of LeBron just being so forceful, or was it a case of you guys not looking for AD more than enough?
I mean, during the flow of a game, there was a lot of several play calls, and LeBron had it going, and, you know, A screening, rolling. He had some looks that he wasn't able to finish, but at the end of the day, he competed. He kept at it, and he had some good moments late. But nah, I mean, the way we play is the equal opportunity offense, and you know, guys gonna want to push a guy on. They see Brian going and making shots. Then nah, no one. That's the beautiful thing about this group that we assembled. No one is begging for touches. Like they see one of their teammates that's cooking, and they're going to continue to feed them. And so it's just, I think, more about happenstance. It wasn't anything deliberate.
Hey, Darvin, you clearly poured your